You guys been watching the reservation calendar? You know that I have, of course. I've been watching it daily because we're getting closer and closer to that 2 week stretch where all Magic Keys are going to be blocked out from Disneyland. As of December 21st, there will be pretty much nothing but single and multi-day ticket holders in the parks in Disneyland, with the exception of a smattering of actual Dream Key holders who didn't activate their tickets, their passes until much later in the year. Thus, they are still eligible, or they're eligible to go to the parks during that 2 week stretch. But I would say, 99% of the guests in the parks are going to be guests paying full price for that ticket. $179 for a single day, single park ticket, or $239 for a park hopper. Just saying that out loud. Did you ever think you would see the day in your lifetime? Anyway, I've been watching the calendar just to see how this strategy of Disney's pays off as we approach the Christmas season or the Christmas week. The theory, I'm assuming, is that Disney believes that there will be enough demand from those single-day ticket holders that they won't have to depend on Magic Key holders to fill the parks. Now, you may recall a while back, we stipulated that it's possible that Disney could, backtrack off of that strategy, maybe release some of those tickets to Magic Key holders during that 2 week stretch if they believed that they weren't selling enough tickets. Actually, I should specify, not just to Magic Keys, but to Inspire Keys specifically, because none of the lower key passes have ever been eligible to go to Disneyland during that 2 week stretch. It was only just the top tier key. Signature Plus in the before times, the Dream Key post-COVID, and then when the Inspire Key came out, even that pass as well was blocked out. So really, the only people not being allowed in the park right now versus in the before times would be just the top tier key, the Inspire Key. So how's that going so far? And I have to say, it looks like it's kind of going Disney's way. Here's the single-day ticket calendar as of Saturday morning, the morning of the 10th. December 21st is the first day of the Magic Key blockout period, and it's the only day before Christmas that has a reservation available for Disneyland. Again, this is for single-day, single park. If you want to go to Disneyland on one of those days, you have to buy a park hopper, which obviously is more available. We spoke about this in a previous video where the single park and park hopper tickets have separate buckets. But with 10 days to go before the blockout period, Disney has sold all of their available single park tickets to Disneyland. And I assume they're getting at least close to that threshold for the park hoppers as well. For example, this is the park hopper calendar. There are already 2 days sold out where Disneyland is the starting park. And that's the goal. Whenever you start to evaluate these, how things are going, you're always looking at Disneyland. DCA is kind of, especially during the holiday season, people during the holidays, they very specifically want to go to Disneyland. That is where the magic is during the Christmas season. But like I said, with 10 days to go, I have to think that this is close to their plan. And as we approach the week of Christmas, more and more of these dates will sell out, unless they're holding dates back. That's a possibility. It could be that they are holding dates back and then populating them like occasionally, and not by a big number, so as to keep up the appearance of scarcity. They don't want to drop a whole bunch of dates like we've seen them do in the past with Magic Keys. They might be just dropping, 100 or so. Let those sell out. By the way, you know what? We're going to get to that. Let's look at the Magic Key calendar. It's gone. As of the morning of Saturday, December 10th, all of December is either booked out or blocked out. There are also 4 days the following week that are booked up. And this, again, I think has to be pretty close to optimal for Disney. I don't think there's any doubt that being sold out is better than not sold out, right? Now, do I think that they're going to release more reservations between now and the 20th? I'm leaning towards no. That's in spite of the news that just came out of Walt Disney World regarding their annual pass program and the Christmas season. It was recently reported that Walt Disney World did just that. Disney added bonus park reservations at all parks for annual pass holders. Now, I don't believe this was a case where they were blocked out and then unblocked. This sounds more like they're simply letting APs make more reservations than they are normally allotted, thus the term bonus reservations. But I don't think that would be the case here at Disneyland. If we're to believe our eyes, when looking at the reservation calendar at Disneyland, they're getting what they expected, or at least close to it. And this is why I'm less inclined to think that they're going to do something here at Disneyland like what they have done already at Walt Disney World. Now, if there is going to be a situation where Disney does release more reservations for either Magic Keys or for single day tickets, because some of those dates, like I mentioned, are sold out, my best guess or my best recommendation is to be looking late in the evening, 9 p.m. Pacific, and then after that, if you can. We have seen some drops, not big numbers, some drops where reservations were opened up and they lasted for a little while. When reservations last for a little while, if you see an open reservation on a specific date or range of dates on the calendar for more than an hour during this season, that's a drop. That's more dates being released as opposed to people canceling and then those canceled dates getting scooped up. The cancellations get taken within minutes typically. So if you see dates hanging around for a little while, it's because they've allocated more. They're not doing this, as far as I can tell, during the middle of the day. They're doing this, as best as I've heard, overnight. Now, as for my plans to go to Disneyland during that blockout period from the 21st on, I don't think they're going to be opening things up for Magic Keys. That's not going to happen. But two, if I do, if I want to go, I might have to make up my mind soon because, like I showed before, the 21st is available right now for Disneyland. Otherwise, I got to pay $239 if I want to go either the 22nd, 23rd, or 24th because I have to get a park hopper. By the $239. That is steep. That is steep. You know what that is? Let me just, a little simple math. That is 15% of the cost of my Inspire key. If you're not sure if the Inspire key is worth $1,599, and you want to go a lot, that is, I could buy just 6 tickets with that amount. It would 6 park hoppers at $239 a pop would run me just under that $1,599 number. So that's why I say that for me and for people like me who go often, it's still a very good deal. All right, one other story that I'd like to talk about while we're all here. During our live stream last Thursday, I was asked if I thought that Disney was going to be doing any more of the After Dark events. This coming on the tails of them not renewing or canceling Merriest Nights. So the issue is in doubt. I'm not sure. The issue was in doubt because so far we haven't heard anything. Well, it turns out the very next day, Disney confirmed that Sweethearts Night and a new After Dark event, the Princess Night, will be heading for the parks this spring. Actually, Sweethearts Night is still in the winter, but you get my point. Princess Night will obviously feature your favorite Disney princesses in the parks, but will also feature some shimmering decor, Minnie and Daisy in princess form, meeting guests at the main entrance, a musical concert featuring Moana, Merida, and other live vocalists. Merida, I haven't seen her in the parks for a little while. A dance party in Tomorrowland, of course, that will feature Vanellope von Schweetz from Wreck-It Ralph, Tiana, she'll be hosting something in New Orleans Square, obviously, and along with the usual specialty menu items and photo backdrops. Tickets go on sale December 12th for Magic Key holders and December 14th for the general public. On both days, sales will begin no earlier than 9 a.m. By the way, this event will be just 2 nights, March 7th and March 9th, so be prepared to join the hashtag More Than An Hour Club. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, Sweethearts Night will be back. This one is a bit of a surprise for me, actually. The first night of this event will be January 31st, then again on February 2nd, the 5th, the 7th, the 9th, the 14th, and the 16th. And this event will feature a themed fireworks show. Awesome. A dance at the Royal Ball hosted by Aladdin and Jasmine near It's a Small World. A moonlit cruise on the Mark Twain with a jazz ensemble. Island music from a Polynesian trio from the Tropical Hideaway. Plus specialty food items and photo opportunities such as Lady and the Tramp and Little Mermaid. Also, as is custom, guests can enter the park starting at 6 p.m. with the show starting properly at 9 p.m. And then no word on whether any of the other nights are going to be returning. I'm talking about like Star Wars Night and Villains Night. I mention this because Sweethearts Night last year, when they announced it, was announced along with Star Wars Night and Villains Night. They made that announcement all in one. Nothing was mentioned about either of those 2 events, so I can't say. It's unlikely at this point, I think, that we'll see them. Star Wars Night has a chance still. I still feel like Star Wars Night has a chance. Obviously, that's going to be a sellout. It's a great event. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're a Star Wars nerd. Villains Night, I'm not so sure. That particular event, it was I, you know what? These events are better. They're just better at Disneyland. Oogie Boogie Bash. I mean, I'll give you that one. They got treat trails and everything all over the. They could fill the park up with those treat trails. But I was a little underwhelmed by Villains Night at DCA last year. They had one good event, but otherwise, it was just okay. There was too much where I didn't feel like I just felt like I was at DCA and not at a specialty event. When you go to an After Dark event at Disneyland, you feel it everywhere you go. In every land, you feel it everywhere you go. There's no moment where you don't feel like you're at an event. Anyway, those were announced at the same time as Sweethearts Night, and at the same time a year. They made that announcement, I think, this time last year, early December. So it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem likely that we're going to be seeing at least Villains Night, although Star Wars Night is still a possibility. They'd want to have that back in time though for what for Star Wars Day, right? So what are you guys gonna do? Are you guys gonna go to Sweethearts Night? What did you think of Sweethearts Night? That was the most. I I surprisingly liked it a little bit. I had fun at the event. We Liz and I took advantage of some of the really cool photo ops. The lady in the trampoline was kind of neat. We enjoyed the ones over there at Haunted Mansion too. It was cute. It was a cute event. I'm just a little bit surprised that they are doing it again this year, considering Marius Nights. Although Marius Nights, I feel like was canceled for reasons different than whether or not people liked it. You know what I mean? I think Marius Nights, there was a conflict with people just wanting to be at Disneyland at 7 p.m. on a party night. They didn't like being kicked out. They didn't like being kicked out of the park when they want to be there at night, Christmas, right? So I feel like that's what that was. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on this. Let us know if you're going to go to one of these events or which events you'd like to see return this year. And then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. If you like our show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.